I admire many things about you and have for many years, Steve, but one of them is the way you got through difficult times when a lot of developers did not. And the second related part of that, no pun intended, the related part of that is large projects, especially over the last, 25 years, really large projects, and yet managing the risk through some of these markets. So how have you dealt with that from a strategic point of view, and how do you think about that?
Well, I mean, probably the fundamental reason I think we got through it was one, starting with no cash. You can't get yourself in trouble by spending money you don't have if you can't raise money. So, I mean, I think what's hurt developers over time has probably been the carrying of land and projects in bad times. So I think the one overlying thing is that what we did was really we grew by working with the governments. Uh, we probably batted close to 900%, if you will, or 90% in dealing with RFPs with state, city, governments. So that once you won these large scale projects that were controlled by them, you didn't really have to carry the land. And that really, and even in the smaller projects when they were like one-offs, you know, that today, that was a lot easier than having the capital tied up in land going through business cycles. Because that's what's killed developers. When you look back historically, and when I was first starting the company, the business cycles were a lot shorter and you could see a lot more bankruptcies. So you had to really, figure out, have a program or philosophy. How do you stay alive in the long run? And that's how it's hurt so many developers, from that standpoint. So, it was, that was one of the reasons why. And how do you really get the maximum leverage? And, when I first started, the government had all these programs, so I could borrow close to 100%. So I didn't need that much capital. And then we had tax shelters. I was able to sell it to wealthy investors, the tax shelters, the tax losses. But, times have changed, and I mean, thank God we've grown, gotten bigger. We're in more segments and it's a lot easier to attract, institutional partners. And that's how we've really grown. But I mean, assessing risk and understanding you have to survive the long term is really, I think, probably the most important part of really starting a company and making sure that you're going to survive. And so it's really, it's your structuring and understanding risk at all times and how you lay off risk and what risk you're prepared to, accept.
Steve, one of the things I've observed, and you tell me if I'm wrong, is instead of it doing 100% of a mega project all by yourself, in a number of cases, you've brought in partners, you've sold pieces of it. Was that a big part of the strategy?
Not really. I mean, what we try to do when we've diversified into every segment is when we're doing a large scale mixed use project, which is we're doing quite a few of those today, because I really question, today the economics of a lot of one-off deals with the abundance of capital available and what people are built, what yields people are building to today. But, we control, and here I think we're one of the few companies in the country that have the capabilities of doing all residential, office, hotel, and retail all under one roof. So therefore, it's getting people to work together as a team. You eliminate that ego aspect of it where someone has to be in charge. The company is doing all the jobs. The partners we bring in are strictly financial partners.